So fall has arrived in Canada. You'll notice both my big guys are off leash. They're nice and used to the area now. Checking out her. Well, stay! Come on! Checking out her spot over there in the pen. Making sure no one has snuck in there overnight, because I had her in another pen. All the dogs were in another pen last night because of a big rain that came through. I didn't want them to get wet. The new pen isn't as rain-proof as the old one. Thought I'd share an old native story. I learned this one from a guy, an old Mi'kmaq guy who lived in or near Mont-Tremblant, Quebec. It's in Canada, for those of you who don't know. It's pathetic if you didn't, but oh well. Okay. Alright, so as the story goes, there was a time in people's history, centuries ago, centuries and centuries, thousands of years ago, when the people could not get along. Everybody was on a power trip. Everyone wanted to be a chief, or whatever they wanted to be, even if they weren't very good at it. This led to a lot of conflict. The nation was not united at all. So, during this time, a child was born, a girl, and she had the ability to understand the languages of the animals. And as time went by and she grew, she learned to speak their languages back at them and make them understand her as well. When she became a woman, she was strikingly beautiful. All the old men said there had not been a woman that beautiful in their time. And all the young men, of course, they wanted her to be their wife. She'd have no part in this. She was also gifted in medicine. She was a powerful healer. And she had no time for husbands and children. She wanted to care for her people. She wanted to heal them, and she wanted to bring peace and put it in their hearts. And for years and years and years, she tried to stop the people from fighting and arguing. It never worked. And she became a very, very old woman. She had no sons to hunt for her, no grandsons to hunt for her. She had no daughters. She had no husband. And she thought she was a burden to the people. So this woman, she took it onto herself to go wandering out into the woods to die, because she didn't want to be a burden to her people. Many days passed, and she found a nice clear area in the forest where she decided to lay down and die. What happened there, as she laid there waiting for her heart to stop or whatever, the darkness to come, she heard a whimpering in the bush. She got up from her place and she moved toward these bushes and followed the sound, and there in the bushes was a hunter's noose, a snare trap, and a wolf cub had been caught in the trap. Its leg was broken, but this woman took the wolf, took it from the trap, mended its leg over the next few days. She captured mice for it, brought it water, everything, took care of this animal. The days turned into weeks, and after a while, she freed the wolf cub. And she said, go back to your people. And he did so. But now that she had spent so much time in that area, she had kind of made a mess of it. Because she had a lean-to and all this kind of stuff. She wanted to leave the world in a very natural place. So she decided to look for another place, again, to die. And after many days, she found a similar clearing. And she laid down to die, and not long after, she heard the howling, the yelping and the howling of wolves surrounding her, running around the clearing through the forest. Well, she knew that wolves killed the old, the weak, and the sick. And at this point, she hadn't eaten for a while. She was feeling kind of sick. She was weak, and she was old. So she stood up so that they could see her, so they could come and kill her. They didn't. Instead, a great red wolf came from the forest and said to her, "You saved my son. Now we're going to save you." So, they dragged her back to their den, and they brought her meat. They even carried water in their mouths for her to drink. Days later, her strength was back. And the red wolf came to her and he said, "Can you heal my father?" And in came an old gray wolf, and his stomach was distended and hard. So, she went into the forest and she gathered some berries and stuff. And she made a tea. And she administered this to the wolf over a few days. And he got better. Well, the red wolf was so happy, he said, "Hey, why don't you come live with us? Because if you do, you can keep us healthy. You're a great healer." And she did. And when the wolves went hunting, she stayed back with the old gray wolf, as he taught the young wolves how to be good wolves. And she, in turn, learned how to be a good wolf, too. And a year passed, and the old gray wolf died. The red wolf said it was his time, but he wanted you to have his skin. So they took a skin from the old gray wolf, and she wrapped it around her, and the other wolves were astonished at what had happened. Suddenly her youth returned, and she was beautiful again. Well, she thanked all the wolves, and she mourned the passing of the old gray wolf. And then the red wolf said to her, "You should go back and live with your people." She said, "Why? I like it here." He said, "Because we are wolves, and you are not. You should be with your people, your own pack." And they argued and argued until finally she conceded them and said, "Okay, I will." So they took her back to her village. And when she walked into that village, the old men in that village recognized her from when she was young. And everybody gathered around and wanted to hear her story. Well, she told them all the story about how she went up into the woods to die and found the pup and then lived with the wolves. And while she lived with the wolves, she spent most of her time with the old gray wolf, who taught the young wolves how to be good wolves. The old gray wolf taught the young wolves that every wolf has its place. Every wolf has its place. So, as she explained all of these rules and laws that were part of the wolf political structure, the people did something they hadn't done for centuries. They shut up and listened. She is known as the grandmother of the Wolfclan. And she brought the tribal laws from the wolf pack to the people. I've told that story a lot. I hope it turns out on the video. A year from now, those two right there are going to pair up and make a whole bunch of puppies. We've got some people already signed up, already on board to get them. If you want one of our dogs and you live in Canada or even in the United States and you can travel to us in Port Elgin, Ontario, Saugeen Shores, northwest of Toronto. If you can get here, you want one of our dogs, just check out the description in this video. It has our Facebook address in there, or Facebook link to the Facebook anyway, and just link up to Facebook and we'll tell you how to proceed. There's certain criteria you have to meet. We won't sell one of these animals to somebody who cannot keep it safe. Look at that, father and son. There we go, father and son. Yeah, we also won't sell one of these animals to somebody who wants to feed it a vegan diet. There are idiots out there who want to feed their dog a vegan diet. It's real smart. These are carnivores. They're not even omnivores, they're carnivores. Yeah. So, if you want one, now's the time to get aboard. Get on that list. Commenting on this video, telling me you want to be on the list, won't put you on the list, by the way. It won't. You have to contact the kennel through the Facebook page. There's also an advertisement on Hoobly free classifieds. So you can get an ad. There's an ad on there for this. If you just Google Volga Wolfhounds, you'll find our ads, you'll find our videos, you'll find our Facebook page. It's all there. Anyway, contact the Facebook page and she'll tell you everything, how to get one of these guys into your life. They're quite amazing. Right now we're starting to put on a lot of fat again for the winter coming. You'll see, he actually lost some good weight this summer. We were kind of busy. I didn't get a lot of videos of him, but then he started putting it on again about 2 weeks ago. You see he's got about an extra 5 on there right now. He is 11 years old, and in just over 1 month he'll be 11 years old. Yeah, that guy right there. Oh! Yeah, that guy. He weighs about 170 pounds right now, so he's 5, almost, maybe even 10 pounds, a little overweight. Let's lost his rope there. It's tied up into this. Oh, I hate this thing. I'm throwing it away. It's not a good choice of a seat. This is a good choice of a seat than watching a dog that likes to run around and is on a leash. So for all you VW fans, if you do that, just get a nice little flat board like that. Your rope don't get tied up into it. As they says down here, your rope don't. Your rope doesn't get tied up in there. You can take the man out of the Maritimes, but it's hard to get that Maritimes out of the man, let me tell you. Once that salt water's in your veins. Woohoo! We expect Rusty to come into heat in about a month from now. And she will be in the new pen. The air blowing through there for her and everything. We were hoping to get Emu neutered by then, so we could put him in there with her. It might still happen. He's done his puppy making days, so he doesn't need those anymore. Not really. Oh, jeez. Hi, buddy. Who's that big guy? I only know 2 wolf stories. North American Indian stories, as some people would say. In Germany, they call us Indiana. Anyway, I'm not so tight-assed that words hurt me. Words don't hurt me. So, anyway, here's the last story. The only other wolf story I know. There was a spirit. And she had never been anything but a spirit. She didn't know how to be anything but a spirit. She used to watch the world every day and admire the beautiful creatures that Glooskap had created. Glooskap is a mighty hero that the creator made and sent him on a journey to rescue his, do all kinds of stuff. Anyway, in the end, he ended up battling his brother, and this is the story of that, sort of. His brother was, the two of them were twins, and they slew their mother coming out. Because the one twin, he was jealous that the other was going to be born first. So that one twin, he clawed his way through his mother and killed her. Now I think the comparison is like maybe the mother was Mother Earth, I think. I'm not sure. You can take what you want from this. Put some science fiction, anything you want into it. But this is it. Anyway, so this man who tore his way through his mother, and in the process of doing so, he became coated with her blood. And it was so fertile that black fur grew all over his body. And as the fur grew, he grinded his teeth. And he strained his jaw because it hurt so badly. And by doing so, his face grew long and his teeth grew long. And when he crawled between his mother's broken ribs, he in turn broke his back and crooked himself for life. He could only crawl on 4. They say that he was the first wolf. He was a black wolf. Now his brother came, and there's a long story about how his brother mourned the loss of his mother and all of that. And there's all kinds of adventures and blah, 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 blah. And in the end, that first brother had been so full of malice, jealousy, hatred, judgment, evil, that the first brother, Glooskap, the hero, he slew him with the touch of an owl feather. And as the spirit of his brother, the black wolf, moved towards the spirit world, there was this spirit who had never been anything more than a spirit. And she had watched all of the life of this black wolf, and she felt sorry because he didn't have any friends, and she thought he could just be changed if he had some friends. She even communicated with him on many occasions, and he told her that he was very much in love with her and so on and so forth. He tried to enlist her aid in getting the powers of the creator and so on and so forth. But in the end, he died. And as his spirit traveled to the spirit world, hers traveled to the world. Because she had gone to Creator and said, listen, I want to be alive. And Creator said, are you sure? She said, yes. Creator said, what do you want to be? And she said, I want to be the sound he makes when he's sad. So the Creator sent her to the world, and she is the sound that the wind makes when it blows through hollows and trees. It's the sound that black wolf made. Woo! Woo! That's the story. That's the only 2 I know. That was kind of a short version. That story can take a long, long time to tell because there's so many things that happen in between their birth and the death of the evil brother. I think that story, that particular one, may have come after the European invasion, whatever you want to call it. Actually, that's what it was. It was an invasion. But it's kind of cool when you hear the whole thing. And people were asking me about the VWs and how they're doing, so I thought I'd make this video and put it on YouTube. Thanks for watching.